Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling exhausted, even though nothing obviously bad happened? No argument, no yelling, no conflict. Yet somehow, you feel mentally drained and emotionally heavier than before. Most people think the solution is to become tougher, more persuasive, or better at defending themselves. But smart people learn something different. They realize that protecting their peace is far more important than winning every disagreement. In this video, you'll discover 7 habits emotionally intelligent people use to deal with difficult and draining individuals without getting trapped in endless conflict. And the final habit may be the most powerful of all. Before we begin, it's important to remember that everyone has bad days and makes mistakes. This video isn't about judging people. It's about recognizing patterns of behavior that consistently leave you feeling stressed, exhausted, or emotionally depleted. The goal isn't to control other people. The goal is to learn how to protect your own well-being. The first habit is trusting consistent feelings, not just first impressions. Most people ignore discomfort. They meet someone who seems friendly, polite, and pleasant, yet something about the interaction doesn't feel right. Instead of paying attention, they dismiss the feeling and convince themselves they're overthinking. Smart people take a different approach. They don't judge someone based on a single interaction, but they do pay attention when the same feeling appears repeatedly. One uncomfortable conversation may mean nothing. 5 uncomfortable conversations might reveal a pattern. Emotionally intelligent people understand that their minds often notice inconsistencies before they can clearly explain them. Instead of asking, "Why do I feel this way?" they ask, "What keeps creating this feeling?" That simple question helps them recognize potential problems before they become much larger. The second habit is focusing on patterns, not promises. Words are easy. Anyone can apologize. Anyone can promise they'll do better next time. Anyone can say exactly what you want to hear. But smart people understand that behavior matters more than intentions. They pay attention to consistency over time. Does someone's behavior match their words? Do they take responsibility when they make mistakes? Do they make genuine efforts to improve? Everyone makes mistakes, and nobody is perfect. The issue isn't imperfection. The issue is repetition. Healthy relationships show growth over time, while unhealthy dynamics often repeat the same cycle again and again. Smart people stop evaluating people based on who they say they want to become. Instead, they pay attention to who they consistently show themselves to be. The third habit is setting boundaries without needing approval. Many people understand the importance of boundaries, but they struggle to enforce them because they fear disappointing others. Smart people eventually realize that boundaries are not punishments. They're personal decisions. A boundary isn't about forcing someone else to change. It's about deciding what you will and won't allow into your life. For example, instead of trying to control another person's behavior, you may choose to spend less time in conversations that consistently leave you feeling stressed. That's not selfish. It's responsible. Not everyone will like your boundaries, and some people may resist them. But emotionally intelligent people don't measure the value of a boundary by whether everyone approves of it. They measure it by whether it protects their well-being. The fourth habit is stopping the attempt to change people. This lesson can be difficult, especially for caring individuals. When we care about someone, we naturally want to help them improve. We offer advice, encouragement, support, and guidance. Sometimes that works, but smart people understand that real change must come from within. You can support people, but you cannot do their growth for them. The moment you become more invested in someone's improvement than they are, you're carrying a burden that doesn't belong to you. Over time, that becomes exhausting. Emotionally intelligent people learn the difference between supporting someone and rescuing someone. Support empowers. Rescuing drains. Once they understand that distinction, They stop trying to control outcomes they cannot control and focus instead on their own actions and decisions. The fifth habit is controlling emotional reactions. One of the most valuable skills a person can develop is the ability to pause before reacting. Many situations become larger simply because of the emotional energy we give them. A frustrating comment can ruin an entire day if we continue replaying it in our minds. Smart people understand that not every challenge deserves a response. When faced with criticism, tension, or conflict, they pause and ask themselves a few simple questions. Is this worth my energy? Will responding improve the situation? What outcome am I actually trying to achieve? These questions create space between emotion and action. In that space, better decisions become possible. Self-control isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about choosing where your energy is best invested. The sixth habit is carefully choosing their inner circle. The people around us have a tremendous influence on our thoughts, emotions, and habits. Whether we realize it or not, attitudes are contagious. Spend enough time around negativity, constant drama, or chronic stress, and eventually it begins affecting your own mindset. Smart people understand this. That's why they don't rush trust. They allow relationships to develop gradually. They observe how people behave during difficult moments. They pay attention to character, consistency, and reliability. Not everyone deserves the same level of access to your life. Being selective isn't arrogance, it's wisdom. The people closest to you should encourage growth, honesty, respect, and stability. They should help you become a better version of yourself, not pull you away from the person you want to become. The seventh habit is knowing when to quietly walk away. This may be the hardest habit of all because many people feel the need for closure. They want one final conversation, one final explanation, or one final attempt to make everything clear. But emotionally intelligent people understand that not every situation requires another discussion. Sometimes the pattern has already revealed everything you need to know. Sometimes another conversation simply repeats the same cycle. Walking away doesn't mean being cruel, bitter, or resentful. It means recognizing that your peace matters. Smart people don't always make dramatic exits. Often they simply stop investing energy where it no longer belongs. They stop chasing understanding from people who have no interest in understanding them. They redirect their attention toward healthier relationships, meaningful goals, and personal growth. Before we finish, remember this. The smartest people aren't the ones who win every argument. They're the ones who recognize which arguments aren't worth having in the first place. They understand that their attention is valuable, their energy is limited, and their peace deserves protection. The goal was never to control other people's behavior. The goal was always to make better choices for yourself. When you stop trying to fix everyone around you and start focusing on your own boundaries, reactions, and environment, many problems begin to lose their power over you. So, let's quickly recap. Smart people trust consistent feelings, focus on patterns instead of promises, set boundaries without guilt, stop trying to change others, control their emotional reactions, choose their inner circle carefully, and know when it's time to quietly walk away. If you remember only one thing from this video, let it be this. Protecting your peace is not selfish. It's necessary. And the moment you truly understand that, you'll begin making decisions that support your well-being instead of draining it. If you enjoyed this video, let us know in the comments which of these 7 habits has had the biggest impact on your life. And don't forget to subscribe for more content on psychology, emotional intelligence, and personal growth. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.